Blog Talk Radio.
Out that door, just enough, and you say you won't know that a separation is what we both need. I agree, so I let you leave me. Then I've had a chance to think things through, reminiscing on things that we used to do. You're the perfect fit for me, and this I know. Come back to me, 'cause your love is so when we're alone. Feels right. I know some things ain't right, but I know we'll work it out, 'cause I just can't be without you. Every moment that leaves me in a low. Got no plans today, don't know about tomorrow. From the world forever, I will not hide. I'd just rather face it with you by my side. Without you, I know who I am. But being with you has made me into a better man. Sometimes you may scream and maybe I'll shout. Can't remember what we argued about. When we're alone. Oh yeah. I know some things ain't right, but I know we'll work it out, 'cause I just can't be without you. Can we go somewhere far from here? We can know what we once had. Relive the good and erase the when we're alone. I know some things, and I know we'll work it out. Yeah. I can't be without you, girl. I can't live without you, girl. Living without you, girl, just ain't living right. Living without you, girl, just ain't living right. I just can't be without you. So right. Living without you, girl, just ain't living right. It feels right. Living without you, girl, just ain't living right. Just ain't right. Living without you, girl, just ain't living right. I just can't be without you.
What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted with Patricia M. Goins.
All right, it's Mr. Stout in the house. What to do?
Mr. Stout in the house. I am so excited.
Yeah.
So we have officially launched our contest
Right.
for the Atlanta Music Industry Group, right?
Right.
And so basically, we'll be doing this contest over the next couple of months.
Right.
We'll pick two artists from the Atlanta Music Industry Group, right, or whoever enters the contest. It doesn't have to be from the Atlanta Music Industry Group. Whoever, from whatever. We'll pick two artists from the group each month, and they will be able to compete for an opening spot at the event that we're going to be having in September.
Right.
And they'll also get a vendor table, so they'll be able to sell their merch and stuff like that, and talk to the fans, and and the execs and all that kind of stuff. I'm really, really excited because we've been planning on this for a while. Because remember last year everything was online, all our contests and stuff was online. But this year we're actually going to be able to meet in person in Atlanta, and we're going to actually announce the location, the date, and the time next Wednesday.
Oh, wow, that close.
Time is flying by. Right. And then we got William T. Stars, who's about to have his first music video premiere. He ain't no joke. Like
July 1st, right?
Yep, July 1st. And at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And he is no joke. Like his movement, he's been on the radio. I think he was on 104 point something, praise, one of them FM stations, a whole bunch of FM stations. Actually, he even posted a video of him listening, like he literally was coming out the store, he said, jumped in his car, and right when he got in his car and turned on the radio, his song was playing on the radio. Yeah. That ain't nothing but the Lord.
I mean, what's the odds of that? You get into your car and your song being played as you're about to drive away. That's crazy.
I know, right? So we have two great shows for y'all, two great interviews for y'all today.
Right.
Our first one is an author, Joe Aguilar, and I can't wait to introduce him and talk about his book, For You, For Me, For Us, that is currently kicking tail on Amazon.
Right.
Yes. And then our second guest is going to be an artist, a St. Louis artist, Freestyle King. So, but I believe we have our first interviewee, which is Mr. Joe Aguilar on the line. What's going on, Mr. Joe Aguilar?
It's going. How are you guys doing?
Oh, good.
We're great.
Good.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm calling in all the way from San Antonio, Texas. How's the weather? How's the weather over there?
It's beautiful.
It's really nice. It's not humid. We haven't got the humidity yet, even though we're 2 days into
you just want to be blazing from day one?
Well, that's how I was saying. That's just on the speaker's language. It's probably
What's it like out there?
It's warm in San Antonio. It's we're looking at temperatures in the 90s, almost 100 and such. But it's nice. We're used to this kind of weather. It's pretty cool.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because it's like a dry heat, right? It's like a dry heat.
Yeah, it's a little bit dry heat. Yeah, but if you move further east, like towards Houston, you got a lot of humidity over there. So, but San Antonio is a little bit drier than Houston, but it's nice. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, my son is out there somewhere. I forgot to ask him what hospital he works at, but he works at too. I meant to ask him.
Yeah.
So, before we get into your book, For You, For Me, For Us, we like to take all the authors down and all the guests period down the yellow brick road, down memory lane.
Sure.
So we want to take you back. When did you first discover your love for writing?
I've always been a writer. Ever since my high school days, I always kept journals and such. And then when I attended North Texas State University back in the 80s, 1983 to be approximate, I joined the fraternity and I started writing a journal of my experiences going through the process of becoming a member of this fraternity. So I've been writing since almost day one, and I kept writing, and that journal I still have. That's how I was able to reference a lot of my notes that I took from way back when. I was able to reference a lot of them in my book that I have, For You, For Me, For Us.
So you said you did join a fraternity?
Yes. I joined a fraternity in 1983. I pledged the fraternity. Yeah, it was an 11-week process. Back then, hazing was very common, as it is now. More so back then than now. I think back then it was pretty secretive. Now it's also secretive, but there's a lot more. it's being exposed a lot more through social media and the internet and such. So things happen, still happening. They were happening back then, and it's still happening now. So, but I took a lot of notes.
So, what fraternity did you pledge?
I was a Delta Sigma Phi. It's a national fraternity. It's a national fraternity. This fraternity started back in 1898. It was formed back in 1898 up east, like around the Penn State area. That's when the first chapter started, and I mean we've got over 100 chapters throughout the country right now. And my chapter was the Gamma Xi chapter at North Texas, but it was a Delta Sigma Phi fraternity.
Are you still a fraternity brother?
Oh yeah, it's a lifetime membership.
Yeah.
Once you join, you're in for forever, which is really neat. I mean, there's a lot of secret stuff that we experience when you become a brother per se. But believe it or not, there's even a burial ceremony if you want one. Like if I were to ever die, I can request a burial ceremony, and the fraternity would come down and perform a ceremony on behalf of the fraternity, which is really cool, But there's a lot of history behind fraternities.
Do y'all do the stepper? Do y'all be stepping? Whoo! How y'all be doing the little line dances together that y'all used to back in the day?
Believe it or not, we would compete. I was never a step. I could never step, but some of my guys they could. But we would hire one of the alpha guys, one of the Alpha Phi Alpha guys, to come and teach us how to properly step. So, but yeah, there was a lot of stepping competition back then, for sure.
They still do. I love to watch the fraternity.
Oh yeah, they still do them, man. They're fantastic. The women and the men, they're just so good, And we had a lot of step competitions. There were really a lot of different competitions that I witnessed, and we were always very competitive with other fraternities. So there was a lot of competition going on, and not only in step dancing, but in sports and right. Just a whole bunch of different things. There was always friendly competition. Got out of hand sometimes, but boys will be boys. You know how that goes.
Right, like the drum line. Like the drum line was like one of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Yeah, the drum line was one of the.
I love my
was it like, cause you said 83. I'm thinking like, was it like School Days? Like with Spike Lee joint?
Yeah, it was 83. That's a long time ago, man. I'm 60 years old, guys. I'm an old guy. Yeah. I've been around the block a few times.
You know what? They got two big stories going on right now about hazing. One of them, Phi Kappa Alpha, the gentleman died of alcohol poisoning, Bowling Green State University. That's in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they said 7 pled not guilty to hazing, and then they got another story out of Richmond, Virginia. Delta, I guess it's Delta Chi or something like that. By the name of Adam Oakes, the guy's name.
Yeah, and that's a sad part about the whole process. When I joined, I was never forced to consume any alcohol whatsoever. Any alcohol that I consume, I did it voluntarily, of course. And there was a lot of alcohol. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of alcohol. But I was never forced to drink massive quantities of alcohol. A lot of the deaths that are happening currently with fraternities have to do with alcohol. I mean, some of these kids are being forced to drink stuff that is just ridiculous. And believe it or not, it's still going on. I mean, Bowling State and all these other universities. I think I was telling Patricia a while back that my daughter attended University of Alabama, and while visiting up there, I had opportunities to interview some of the guys that were in fraternities, and it's that alcohol consumption thing is still happening, and being forced to drink so much, it's still happening. It still happens, but fortunately, most pledges make it through, but then you have those that they overdose on alcohol, and that's the sad part about it, is because that does not need to happen, but unfortunately it does. Yeah.
I mean, is that
ridiculous.
something that they talk about to the students, like, prior to, like, before they join, like, any fraternity? That's something that's, like, in a handbook or some kind of, like, what to look out for?
No.
Parents and say, like, this is what's going on.
Never. It's very secretive. You don't know what you're getting into. All you see is the end result. When you see a group of men that are wearing the same letters, they communicate with each other. You want to be part of that. How do you get there? You don't know. You have to go through the process, and everybody has to go through the process. And sometimes the process gets out of hand. Sometimes the process is insane. So I went through 11 weeks of that myself, and that's what really brought me to the desire to put a story together. And because I was taking notes, I was like, I've never been treated like this in my entire life, and I would take notes and stuff like that. And then I always said, down the line, hopefully this can be a story. Nobody knows, but here we are, almost 30 years later, with this story. So, but yeah, man, it was. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I remember when I was in college, I went to Central State University, and right down the way was Wilberforce University, both of them in Ohio. And fraternities and sororities was a big thing on our campus, right? But there was this illegal fraternity called the Mad Dogs. Okay. And I remember my freshman year. Yeah, this must have been part of their hazing thing or their initiation or whatever. It was a line of them. They were illegal. They weren't even supposed to be doing this, but there was a line of them, and they all stood in front of the female dorms, and they was yelling out female dorms numbers and names, and seeing what they did to them, and they was singing. It was a sing. And all the women was yelling, "Shut up! Don't you think that wasn't me?"
Yeah, there's a lot of organizations that choose to create their own little group per se, and there were some. I think I do remember there were some organizations. They weren't organized as fraternities and sororities are, because we're organized through the national headquarters. I mean, we have national headquarters, and it's a structured organization. These rogue groups that Patricia was mentioning, these guys aren't organized. They're just in that university, and it's a group of guys or girls that have tradition as well, but it's not a recognized organization, if that makes any sense. It's just a group of guys that are going crazy, And some people want to be part of that, which is fine, But then others want to be part of fraternities. And in order for you to become a member of a particular fraternity, you've got to go through the process. And all fraternities are different. Even my fraternity, Delta Sigma Phi, chapters are all different throughout the country. Although in the very end, we all recognize each other. I mean, we have handshakes, we have door knocks, we have signals, we have songs, we have all these things that helps you recognize another brother without saying a word to him. So it's very secretive, but in order for you to gain that knowledge, you've got to go through the process.
Right.
Wow. And I took a lot of notes, right, because I was experiencing all this stuff, and I took a lot of notes with the intent of remembering these experiences, and also maybe one day putting pen to paper and saying, you know what, I'm going to write a story about this. And it took me a long time to decide to do this, and I finally made a resolution in 2019, a New Year's resolution. I decided, you know what, I'm finally going to do this. I'm going to stop talking about it and put it down. And I finally wrote it, and it took me 9 months to write it. And then I hired editors and such, and a young lady from New York was my prime editor. She edited my book, and then we got it published on Amazon.
So, that's amazing, because a lot of indie artists do not have that proofreader, that editor, when they're writing. You know what I'm saying? And and for some books you can tell. Like you can tell that they wrote from their heart, but they didn't really have anyone outside of them proofread. Because, you know, your eyes saw that to be announced. That's what your eyes saw. But your hand or you didn't type that.
You know, I think the best advice that I got from my professors at the University of Incarnate Word, which is the university that I attended last. I mean, I just took some classes there, and I took it was a sentimentalism class that studied sentimental writers. And these writers wrote novels that had a lot of emotion, that had a lot of there was love aspects to the book. There was a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of crying, a lot of, you know, just sentimental stuff. And when I took that class, I read some books that were from sentimental writers. I was inspired. I'm like, you know what? These guys can write these books. I can do the same. So, but one of my professors there at the university said, Joe, when you start your story, don't stop. Just keep writing. Don't stop. Don't worry about the commas. Don't worry about the periods. Don't worry about the fragments. Just write as much as you can and just let it rip. Because when you come and correct things, then you're short-circuiting yourself in a way that you're going to forget what you were thinking ahead of time because you're worried about fixing this sentence. You get an editor to do that later. So that's what I did. I hired 2 editors, one in San Antonio, and then I ended up hiring another out of New York because you really want to have several sets of eyes. Other people they can read and I mean, they tore it up, but they made it better for me. I mean, they created a jewel out of a little gem, and it was and of course, once they edited every chapter that they would edit, they would send it back to me, and I would review the chapter, and for the most part, they were spot on because, you know, they corrected all my commas and my periods and my fragments, and they did everything. Yeah. But the story itself was never misdirected in any way. It kept its flow all the way through.
Well, you reading from, you know, going by the reviews that you have on Amazon, which I'm like 5 stars, you know, 15, 20 reviews or whatever, like I can't wait for my book to come. My book is on the way. I've been so busy that I didn't get to order it when you agreed to this interview, but it's en route. So I can't wait to read it because, you know, like I said, I was in college. Yeah. And so I remember, you know, the college life when you live in the dorms. That's so exciting for anybody. And you got kids that's on their way to college. Don't be all like, you need to stay here and go to the community college right around the corner. No, let your kids experience some life. Let them go to the dorms and live on campus. Like, that's the life. Yeah. You just got to tell them, make sure you do your homework.
That's like in high school 4.0. That's what it is. It's high school on steroids, man. Like,
yeah, my daughter had opportunities to go to schools here in Texas, but her desire was to go as far away as she possibly. And you can't get any further than Alabama. I mean, it's 12 hours from where I'm at, and she got that full college experience that Patricia was talking about. She joined a sorority. She was in a house. She had her own apartment. She lived in the dorms. She had her own house. I mean, she went through the whole process and being away from home. So that was pretty cool. And she just recently graduated, as a matter of fact. She graduated in May.
Congratulations, yeah.
Yeah, and she's staying for her master's. So I highly recommend, you know, us parents to send your kids to school and let them experience that, because that's one thing you'll never get back. You will never get back that experience. It will always it will happen in 4 short years or 5, however plan you're at, and then it's gone, you know. And fortunately for me, I was able to put it in writing, and I read my novel. I can always go back and I remember all these things, because realistically, there's 2 characters in my book. It's a love story, by the way. For those of guys that are listening to the show, this is a love story, bottom line. But the funny part about it is that the majority of readers that purchase romance novels or love stories are women. So I couldn't really put my name on the book as the author as Joe Aguilar. I had to go with J.F. Aguilar, because if a woman were to pick my book up and say, "Oh, it's a guy who wrote this," more than likely they're not going to purchase it. You know, they're like, "Oh, what does a guy know about romance or love or any of that stuff?" So I had to go with J.F. Aguilar, and then of course my designer designed the cover, so the cover is also attractive in itself. So, you know, people buy books based on the cover, believe it or not. But if it's a male writer writing a romance novel, they're more inclined not to purchase it. So I had to literally just put J.F. Aguilar. Mm-hmm. And if they go through the book, they'll know that I'm the writer. I'm a male. But the character is what the character goes through in this book is what I went through when I joined the fraternity. So it's almost a bio of what I went through. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So introduce us to, give us a little introduction to the two main characters.
There's Jason, who is he's a freshman. He's from Texas, and he goes to a school in Texas. And then he meets this girl that he falls head over heels for her at the very beginning. And then he decides to join the fraternity. And then she decides to support him through the process of joining the fraternity. So realistically, he would spend the entire week going through and then on weekends he would spend it with her. So they literally fall in love, throughout the process of him joining the fraternity. And there's a lot of mystery, a lot of emotion between both of them. So it's a love story between them two. And of course, you've got to have your mystery element. You've got to have your spiritual element. And then you also have to have your tragedy as well. So, if you have a heart, you will cry. You will cry if you have a heart.
Oh, you want me crying when I read this book? I can't wait to read it. I want to read it. I can't wait. So I'm curious. I want to ask you, and I don't know if this is in your book, but and this is your first book, right? For you, for me, for us, is your first book. So I'm just curious. When you were writing any love scenes, did you feel the need to allow them to write the intimacy, or did you kind of slide past that? Are you comfortable with writing like sex scenes and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, but this is a PG-13 type book. There's no explicit. Yeah, there's no explicit stuff, but I think, I think you can imagine as you read the book, you can put yourself in that position, and you know exactly what happens. But it's definitely not something that, it's not explicit in that sense, but there are some moments they do spend together in a dorm, So things happen in dorms, and
it's college life.
You can imagine.
Oh my God, that's why I used to love that movie, Love and Basketball. You know how many times I watched that freaking movie?
Yeah.
I'm like, my kids was like, "Mom, you an investor because you done bought that thing. You keep losing and buying it and rewatching it." I just love, like, those are great memories for me. Yeah. In spite of all the craziness that used to go on, those were good memories. Those are bonding times because you're all living together. You're all young. There's a time of maturity, you know what I'm saying? So
and the great thing about because back then if you wanted to take, because I have old pictures, right? I have old pictures that I took back then, but I would have a camera. I would take a picture, put film in my camera, take a picture, take it to the developer, and wait 2 weeks before you got your print. Right. Nowadays, you can use a phone, and you can see the picture right then and there. But we had no social media. There were no cell phone. None of that. No cell phone.
These kids nowadays, Joe, they will be lost without internet, without cell phone.
How did you do it? Right?
Yeah, but we didn't even have none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Payphone.
So,
yeah, payphone.
so what's so cool, guys? What's so cool is that I am still able to, with social media, especially through Facebook, I connect with all of my fraternity brothers that I hadn't seen in years. I mean, you're looking. This is '83. This is over 37 years ago. And the guys that are still my fraternity brothers were able to connect, and we have our own little group that we talk about. We've been able to FaceTime every once in a while, and they all know about this book as well. And some have read it, and they identify themselves. They're like, that's me, that kind of stuff. So it's really, really cool. But through social media, I'm able to reconnect with a lot of the brothers from my fraternity. And of course, everything had to be kept. I had to protect the innocent, so all the names changed and everything. Everything had to change, obviously. But I think that if the guys that join with me, that read this book, that were there with me, will know exactly what I meant. But of course, this is a fictional novel.
They're gonna be like, Joe, was you talking about me, Joe? Was that me in that book, Joe?
Yep, that was you. and they know. He goes, yeah, that was me. I said, yep, that was you. So we're able to connect that way. But once again, this is a fiction novel. This never happened. It's a love story. That's all it is. So, and that's the way it's gonna stay. That's the way it's gonna stay. But I'm very fortunate that I was able to get it published, and I'm blessed that I have people who have read it, that have commented on Amazon, and it's been a blessing. And there's still I'm looking at maybe a possible feature film down the road here. So
there's not a lot of films about things like this, about fraternities in general. Like you said, there's a lot of secrecy that's there. And like, there's not like, a lot of information about what we see, like other than like, the hazing thing, like they put that out there, in the news. But other than that, you don't know what's going on with that until like, you see it, so like, or actually been in a fraternity. The most common people don't know anything about it.
We got a caller on the line.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, let me bring the caller in. Hello, caller. You have 508 in your number. You call in On the Move Unscripted. We have an interview with Joe Aguilar. Can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Yes. My name's Diana Britton, and I'm calling from San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Right.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing
Pretty
fine.
good.
So have you read For You, For Me, For Us by Joe Aguilar?
I sure did. I guess the backstory of it, he and I went to school, but we both graduated in different years. So when I first saw on social media that he wrote a book, I thought, well, I'm going to support my fellow classmate and get the book. So I purchased it, had it here. My daughter was going to have a procedure, and I said, I'll wait to read it while she's having her procedure so that way I can kill some time instead of just scrolling around on social media. So when I started reading this, I was giggling, laughing. There were tears in here. And so I was just sort of like, oh, my word, with the hazing and then the cute love story behind it. So there was so much that I was so entertained with it that I think I became one of his cheerleaders, because I can see this as a TV series. I can see it as a book. This reminds me of a better version of, oh God, now that I can't think of it, Mark Consuelos is in that show right now, and I can't think of what it is. But I can see this be a series in Hulu where there's so many avenues, because you can go with the backstory of, and I don't want to give too much away on the story, so, the fraternity itself, the love story, and just the families and how they interact with each other. So I can see this going on and on. And so I love the book, and I'm usually not a love story kind of a girl. My favorite love story is The Way We Were, because they didn't end up together, but this was so cute. I enjoyed this book.
Okay. I can't wait. Mine's is coming. I can't wait.
Awesome.
I have another book that I purchased from another author, and I'm trying. I'm one of them slow readers because I be doing so much. But I love to take my book, like, during my bath or whatever, just chill in the water and just read a couple chapters or whatever, like whenever I can or whatever. I just try to read a little bit. So it might take me a while to get through it, only because I'm a slow reader, but I'm going to read it. I like to. I should have waited and got an autographed copy from you, Joe. How if somebody wanted to get an autographed copy, do you do that?
Of course I do, most definitely.
So how could they get an autographed copy from you?
Well, I can literally get a book to them, and I can literally sign it and send it to them. I mean, they can reach me at Joe Aguilar. I'm on Facebook, Joe Aguilar, Aguilar. They can send me a private message, and I can send them a book, an autographed copy. And they can pay me. We can settle that through through Zelle or anything, or one of those apps that we can take. But yeah, they can reach me on Messenger as well, and we can make accommodations for that. But yeah, I love to sign books. That's
I should have waited to get my book autographed. That's
so you have done like book signings and things like that at other places in San Antonio?
Yeah, I had one, and Diane was there. I had one, I want to say on May. No, where are we? I believe in June. No, where are we? May. I think in April I had a book signing. I think it was in May. I had a book. It could have been May. I mean, I'm so discombobulated. But yeah, it was in May. I had a book signing, one at the Pearl by downtown San Antonio. I had several people come up and purchase a book, and I signed a whole bunch of books as well. And I'm trying to get a book signing at the university that I attended where I experienced all this stuff. And I did call them, and they're all for it. So that's going to be coming up soon as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, to go back to your alumni. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, I just want to ask, I'm sorry, what did you say your name was again, caller?
Diana.
Diana, do you have any questions that you would like to ask Mr. Aguilar?
Not really. I know when we spoke the last time, where's the manuscript? What are you doing to get this on TV? And I remember the TV show. It's Riverdale. And, it's a cute show, but I could see, this being honestly a little bit better than Riverdale because there's substance behind it. And as you're reading it, it's just sort of like who did what and who was your character in the book, But I'm sure he's not going to say who that is.
Somebody going to come up to Joe and be like, Joe, I read your book and I know that was me.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know you was talking about me, Joe.
No, but I thoroughly...
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Forgive me, I was going to say I just enjoyed the book altogether. So, he and I have been chatting, back and forth. So I really don't have any questions other than just to cheerlead and say, write some more, get a different book, because it can be a great little series, and it's a quick read, a very quick read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Diane.
So are you thinking about a sequel, Joe?
Well, there is a cliffhanger in the book itself. I did leave a window open. It is a distinct possibility, yes. But I think that this book, like Diana was saying that it can either become a TV series or a feature film. And the cool thing about it is that nowadays through Hulu, Netflix, you don't have to go straight to Hollywood to have a film. You don't, just like with my novel, I didn't have to hire a publishing house. I self-published the book. I did it on my own. But nowadays, the ability to create films and stuff like that, there's so many more avenues than your traditional Hollywood route, But there's definitely a possibility. You never know, right?
Yeah, I hope that does come to light because You know, I like watching them because you would think they would be in the setting of like in the 80s or something like that, or would it be like is that what the setting of the book is or the synopsis?
It's the 80s. It's definitely the 80s, and I picture I'm envisioning. I've envisioned the freaking soundtrack. You know, I've envisioned the music that's going to be and all that stuff. But it is set in the 80s. It's definitely set in the 80s. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, arcades. I can just imagine like all that stuff. Like that's the nostalgia of that is what I like when I watch movies or read books about that. Like that takes you back into a time and places. I remember the 80s. Like you said, 83. I was like 13 years old then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but the unique thing about this is that even if you didn't join a fraternity, right? Even if you're not in a fraternity or in a sorority, everybody likes a good love story, right? So this book is a great love story for the sake of love, but it's also a story that people that join a fraternity or a sorority will relate to.
Right.
And if you notice on the book cover itself, there's pyramids. There's 3 different pyramids. Those are Egyptian pyramids.
Oh wow!
And my fraternity was a delta, which is a triangle.
Right.
And a pyramid is a triangle. So
right.
the cover itself has a.
Do we lose him?
I think that
we did.
So let's take a quick break and then we'll kind of bring him back on because I'm sure it's something.
Yeah, something must happen. We just lost both of the calls. Right back. Yep.
On the move on script.
On the script, you just seen that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lemonade on a summer day, what you say? Is it awesome, right? Is it awesome, right? Tattooed arms, flip the radio, oh we go. Is it awesome, right? Is it awesome, right? Drop down, roof 5, singing all Lennon on my mind, short skirts, long nights, what about us, you was fine, right? Shy, I'm just blasted and too tired, running out of time, ain't got no love
you up when you're down. That special someone, and that someone is you. Sit right there. Don't you go nowhere. Love is calling you. You better get used to. I just don't wanna waste no time. You're constantly on my mind. No matter where I go, passions overflow. There ain't nothing wrong with you loving me. There's no way that I can conceal. This love inside of me is so real.
This is your boy, Bad Boy Billy Sly. Whether I'm just chilling in the studio or kissing a leading lady or out on the street promoting our new CD, Kenny G Wall of Bass, no matter how you play it, I'm down with Patricia and Mr. Stout on the Move. Unscripted, baby.
So we had a little bit of an unscripted moment with the phone line.
Hey, man, this is what you call live radio.
Right. In fact, you, to switch the subject a little bit about some of the other things that you do, you're actually a sports broadcaster, right? You have a sports show.
Yes, I have a sports talk radio show here in San Antonio. It's called Overtime Sports, and I've had that radio show for 7 years. And it's a weekly show. It's not a daily show. It's every Tuesday from 11 to 12:30. And we talk sports, man. We talk about a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, thank you so much. So I understand the whole dropping calls and people hanging up and that kind of stuff. So my apologies on that one, though.
Well, it's unscripted, so I don't trip about that little stuff.
Yeah.
But so we were talking about the book itself. There's some novels that will take you a month to read, right? There's just some novels they'll go on forever. My book is what's called a quick read, meaning that if you literally sit there, you'll go through it in about an hour and a half. You'll get it done. Wow. It's only 136 pages, but it's a very fast read because you get hooked and you'll start reading one page after another. By the time you realize it, you're done with it. So, Patricia, it won't take you too long to read it.
Oh, you telling me I'll be one of the ones where the kids be like, "Is we gonna eat yet?" I'm like, "Hold on, wait till I get to the next chapter." Somebody called me. I've been calling for an hour. That's because I'm trying to get through this. I can't put the book down.
But no, it is a quick read, and it's a quick read. But I have spoken to some folks that have said I started it, but they couldn't finish it. I'm like, okay, that's cool, But if you sit, you can read it pretty. It's a quick read, like. But some novels can go on for freaking ever. Mine is not. Right. We get to the point really, really fast. No, but yeah, that's the aspect. I'm sorry.
I was going to ask you: is there something like have you thought about putting it in an audio book? Because that's the thing that's like people are doing that. A lot of authors are doing that.
Yeah, that's the next step because the book right now is in a hard copy, and it's an ebook as well. You can literally get it on your Kindle, iPad, whatever. That can be also purchased. The Kindle is $4.99. The book itself is $9.99. But the audio is also another avenue for that as well. And that's the next step, is to get an audio book, because I know a lot of folks who they travel and they listen to audiobooks in their cars while they're cruising, So that's definitely another avenue to explore down the line.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool, because like you said, while you're driving or something, I know a lot of like truck drivers that they buy those, like the audio books and things like that nature. But people do that a lot, and I mean, instead of listening to a radio, because nowadays there's a lot of talk radio, not necessarily sports. I mean, you have politics, you have a whole bunch of things that people can literally sit there and just listen to. And audio books are no different. People can listen to stories and stuff, and if you get somebody that's really got a great voice, I mean, you can really connect with that speaker, and you'll take you on a little ride, So, but yeah, most definitely.
Look for someone.
Okay.
Because I'm an author too, Joe, and so I have a separate. There are some people who don't like to take the time to read. In all honesty, remember back in the day, everybody read. It was like you read. Now people be like, I don't really read. Like, what you mean you don't really read? I don't really read. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess
just look at the pictures. Look at the video. Like, look at the thing moving on the thing.
It's not like the old days. Just like the kids don't go outside and play no more. It's like what the kids
they have good reason. They have good reason for that. All right. Times have changed.
Yeah, they. I mean, when you go to college, a lot of your books, they're online books. You don't get a hardcover books anymore. You have to purchase it online, and you have to read your book online as well. So we've come a long way, man. They don't even teach kids
how to write cursive, Joe. They don't even know how to write cursive now.
They don't even write cursive. You're right. It's like, oh my gosh, They don't even know how to use a rotary phone. What are you talking about? They'll look at a rotary phone and get lost. They're like, how does this phone work?
Right.
But you gotta roll with the changes, right? So that's what we have to do. We roll with the changes.
Well, tell us about your publishing company.
I publish 2 community newspapers here in San Antonio. One is the West Side Sol, Sol, S-O-L, as in sun in Spanish, Sol. And then I have the South Side Sol as well. I've been publishing those community newspapers going on 20 years now. And I've been publishing those for 20 years. The Sports Talk radio show for 7 years. And this novel just published here last December. But yeah,
so what's
it's a
your
community
favorite
newspaper. I'm sorry?
What's your favorite sport?
I'm a football guy. I play basketball. To play is basketball, but I love college football and the NFL. I'm all in for that. Right now it's the NBA, and I love basketball as well. But I just love the NFL is my favorite.
Who's your team?
San Antonio.
That don't mean
Dallas.
you gotta have a San Antonio team.
The Dallas Cowboys are my team, although I'm not too happy with them lately. But believe it or not, I'm also a Green Bay Packers shareholder. So I also have some interest in the Green Bay Packers. So, but I'm definitely a Cowboys fan.
So you need them to win.
They need to do something, man. It's been 25 years since they've won anything.
You know what I mean? Because that's what's going on now. You can come back to the stadiums, and like I said, because the Green Bay, that's a public thing. Like the public owns that team, right? That's where it goes.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of us, thousands and thousands.
Right.
They don't have one owner like Jerry Jones. Right. They have it's a thousands of members have shares into the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, you're right. It's the only team in the country that's that way. Everybody else has a one owner or a group of owners, but not thousands of shareholders. But yeah, they anytime Green Bay, anytime they're trying to renovate the stadium, they sell shares and people buy them, and that's what they use to renovate the stadium.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty sharp.
Okay. And who's your favorite basketball team?
San Antonio Spurs, you know that.
San Antonio.
Right now, the Atlanta Hawks are doing well in basketball.
Yes,
I think
they
they're
are.
playing right now, as a matter of fact.
Yes,
are
they
they
are.
really?
They're playing right now. Yeah.
They doing good.
It was the first game. I think it might be the first game.
Atlanta trying to come. Atlanta almost won. They almost won like the first. What was that? It was something like.
Was it playoffs? I know it was.
It was something where they almost won the World Series, or it was
the Super Bowl. It was in the Super Bowl.
They almost won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I remember that. That was.
They were so hurt. They were so stressed. The whole city.
Yeah, I've seen people smashing their TVs and everything. See, I'm a Jets fan. New York Jets. They were playing New England, and I know how that works.
Points and then.
Yes.
Yeah, they were losing by 30. They were winning by 20-something points, and then they ended up losing. Yes, I remember that.
Right. Yeah.
I was living in Atlanta during that time.
I was living in North Carolina at the time.
Everybody's feelings was hurt.
And I was at a friend's house who grew up in Atlanta, and I see him smash the TV. But I'm a New York Jets fan, and I was like, the Patriots. I've watched them just smash all of our dreams for years. So it was just like I told him at the time, I was like, don't sleep on this guy, Tom Brady. And they were like, oh no, we got this. I'm like, okay.
And hearts were broken.
Yes.
That was a tragedy, man. And wow, but yeah, I am a Cowboys fan, and then of course San Antonio Spurs. So, but your Atlanta Hawks, I'm pulling for your Hawks. I know they're playing the Milwaukee Bucks right now, so that's going to be a good game.
Brooklyn, yeah, I'm a Brooklyn fan. The Nets, and they beat them, and that was just weird how they just, they came back, and beat them. So yeah, I definitely want to see Milwaukee take a loss on this one.
I took Brooklyn too, man. I took Brooklyn to win it all, but once Kyrie Irving went down and James Harden got hurt, it was over.
Yeah.
Too much for Kevin Durant, so. Right.
Too much.
So, what advice would you give to someone who this is their first time writing? And they really don't even know where to start, or how to even begin. What advice would you give to a new author?
I'll give the same advice that was given to me. Is if you think you have a story, because there's so many stories out there. I think there's millions and millions of books. Everybody has a story, right? But if you have a story that you find it to be extraordinary, not ordinary, like something different, put it down on paper, get on your laptop, and just write. And it also helps if you take some classes to help you, become a better writer, in a sense that there's structure to the book. There's a beginning and a middle, and there's a climax and at the end. There's a whole bunch of different patterns that you should follow. There's no golden rule, but once you do start, don't stop. I mean, stop to take a break. You got to sleep, but don't stop to fix your errors. Don't stop to fix anything. Just type away or do what you need to do. And I think they said the average novel is about 60,000 words, right? I think 60,000 words is your average novel. Mine is a little under 40,000. It's really not that many words. But you can knock out 10,000 words in a day if you really wanted to. But once you start, if it's your story, you take it personal. And once you start, you can go on forever. And by the time you know it, you're adding up your words, and then of course hire a great editor. Somebody that you're not going to be offended when they tell you suck as a writer. But take the criticism, and then of course you got to find a great illustrator, somebody that knows how to put some artwork together, because your cover is very important of your book. If you want to increase sales, you got to have a very appealing cover. I want to think mine is pretty appealing. Of course, it could always be better, but I'm satisfied with what I have. And don't quit, man. Just write and keep writing until you know that you're done, and you put the last period, and that's it. You're done. It's over. And I when I finished my novel, I added at the very end, when I finished it, I added another 1,500 words, because I had to change the ending to be a certain way. I wasn't satisfied with the way it ended. So when I added those 1,500 words, there was closure in the book itself. It provided closure. So, but you can always come back. Once you finish your book, you can always come back and change things. But don't change them while you're writing it. Write it and let it go. And then come back and change whenever you need to. But once you start, don't stop. That's my biggest advice. Start, don't stop. Until you know that you've done, and then you can always go back and add whatever you wanted to. Because when I added those 1,500 words, I typed out 1,500 words, and I sent them directly to my editor. I said, Amber, here's 1,500 words. Put it at the end of the book. Got it. So she grabbed them, she edited them, and then she added to the end of the book, and bam, there we go. And it was a perfect ending to the novel.
Wow. Awesome. There's actually a caller on the line, so hold on one second. Let's pull in this caller.
Right there, Virginia.
Sure.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
You called in Unscripted. We're talking to Joe Aguilar. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Toya. I'm calling from Virginia.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey.
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, fine. Do you have a question that you'd like to ask Joe Aguilar, or have you read the book for you, for me, for us?
I had a question. But it was just to ask about something else, but I don't know. I was given the number. I was just trying to make sure this is the right.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to be up the call for the next one for Freestyle King.
Oh, Freestyle King, yes. So
yes.
He's still coming on. Freestyle King is actually still coming on. He's just, you know how it is when you have a 9 to 5 and the boss don't want to let you off at 5. So he gonna be a little late.
I can freestyle too, man, if you need me to.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
He's still coming on. He's going to come on when the boss lets him off of work. You know how it is. You can't control those kind of things.
All right, so the caller got
she was looking for the next caller that's coming on. Yeah, because we have another artist that's actually going to be coming on, another guest after you. But like I said, when you work for someone else, you got to wait till they say, okay, you can go.
Go now. It's your turn. But yeah,
right.
so like I was saying that it's a labor of love, right? I don't expect to become a millionaire with this, but sometimes it's not about that. It's about having a passion, and literally, hit or miss. It doesn't matter because it's yours. It's like it's your baby. It might not be the prettiest baby in the world, but it's still yours. And that's the unique thing about it is that, I can sell 1 million copies or I can sell 500 copies. It doesn't matter because it's a labor of love. And I think that if anybody puts their heart into what they want to do, hey, man, nobody can take that away from you. It's yours.
That's very true.
Right. You know what? I as an author, I can agree with that. Or as an artist, just in the entertainment business, period, especially the indie movement, like you really have to love what you do. Because we are basically, all of us who are independent authors, actors, filmmakers, authors, all that kind of stuff, artists, whatever, we're basically carving our own lane. You know what I'm saying? Yep. We're not waiting for the big corporations to say, you got a good book. We're just like, you know what, we're going to write our own book. You'll be all right. So, but you have to, it's a journey. And so you have to take your eyes off your bank account, take your eyes off of, the royalty statements and all that kind of stuff, and don't let that discourage you from doing what you love to do because, the people who are supposed to read your book are going to read your book, and you just never know. At least you've left a legacy behind. When you're gone to to become an angel or you're in the clouds of heaven or whatever, your work, your name, who you are, piece of you is still here and will go on for generations and generations for as long as, it can be read because it's digital. It's there. It's
that's what it's all about, and that's the same with everything, right? I think that's the same with life. I think we all want to leave this world a better place than when we first got here. And if you can leave it a better place through your writings, through your talent, through your paintings or through your artistry, whatever it is that you do, man, any monetary gain is a bonus. It's a blessing. Yeah. But if it's something that comes from the heart, it's always going to be yours. You can die tomorrow and they'll still buy your book or see your movie or listen to your music. I mean, how many musicians have we lost in the previous years that, I mean, people are still buying their music, and the families are benefiting from that as well. So, it's a labor of love, man. You got to have the passion because you're right. The indie industry is not easy, but it's ours, and we do it our way. And if anybody wants to tag along, you hop on for the ride. But if not, get out of my way, man. Because I don't have time for.
You understand what I'm saying? Tell him, Joe. Tell him.
We don't have time for silly torturous games here, man. We got it. We're busy. We got to get busy here.
Yeah.
You know what? It's like we have to take control of our creative works and do what we need to do for ourselves, which includes marketing and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people don't understand, and this is not just authors, this is artists and everybody. They don't understand that once you have created the work of art, your baby, that masterpiece, the next step is you have to promote it. People have to know it's there. You need a marketing plan. You need to reach out to these different things like how Joe, is with us, and I'm sure he's with other, be doing other interviews later or whatever. You have to market your stuff.
Right.
If you're not going to market it and you're just going to keep it for you, then okay. But if you really want people to read it, you got to market it. And people want to produce it, and they're like, all right, my book is done. Come on, millions, come get it. And the millions don't even know it's there.
You got to build it, man, and they will come. You definitely, I wholeheartly agree with that. Is that you got to let them know that it's out there, you know. And I mean, I always tell that to my partners in my business. You know, my advertisers. That's how I make my money. I always tell them, if you don't advertise, guess what's going to happen? Nothing is going to happen if you don't advertise. So if you don't promote your book, your music, nothing is going to happen. You've got to promote it. You've got to put it out there. You know, let the folks decide. And if they like it, great. If they don't, that's okay, because it's still yours. And nobody can take that away from you. And nobody can take that away from you. So this book that I'm literally looking at, holding my book right now, and I'm like, this is mine. Nobody can say that they wrote it or that I did, and it's here, it's in writing. And I hope that one of these days it becomes a movie. And I can honestly say that, you know, I can go back and say, well, my dreams came through, and it's all good. But
so you know,
it's always going to be mine.
You know, Joe, you can really, in all honesty, you can create that movie yourself. Like I wrote my book, This Can't Be Love, and I actually turned it into a movie, an hour-and-a-half movie. Went through the whole process, had a lot of great actors and stuff, and it was a process of love and pain and stuff, but I got it done. So if you really want to see that turn into a movie and you had the patience that you had to write it, you can find someone to turn it into a script if you don't want to learn how to do it yourself, and then you can just hire people who, you know, new actors or actors who just, you know, don't mind being in indie movies, and you can actually make that movie yourself.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. I think that's the next step. I mean, believe it or not, I do have options right now. There's several options that I can possibly take, but I don't want to. I don't want to create something now and then kick myself later because I went too soon. You know, I want to be able to explore all of my avenues and exhaust every opportunity, and then make the right decision based on the opportunities, because I know that there's people that haven't heard about the book. They have no clue, and they have the ways and means to make this into a big production. And then there's those smaller independent guys that are just chopping at the bit to do this. But I don't want to miss out on what could happen down the road, you know. So explore all your options and make the best decision, because I don't want to come back 5 years later and say, man, I should have gone with that guy or with that company, you know. I want to be able to explore my options and then make the best decision. But there are opportunities, and I wholeheartedly agree. I've been approached by people who are independent producers and writers and filmmakers, and they're loving this opportunity, and I'm like, I'm almost there, you know, but I've got to research other options as well. And then once I make that decision that I'm going all in on,
you definitely got to.
Especially with the thing of making a movie, because, you know, if you making it into a movie, you still can, you know, it won't be as good as the book. You know, people say that, stuff like that. You know, they're like, oh, you know, the book is better, things like that. You know, when you watch it, when things from a book becomes a movie or a film or something like that.
The book is always better.
Yeah, but you know, when sometimes the film is like it gets more eyes and ears on that.
Yeah, I mean the film is like, you're right. The film, more people will watch it or whatever probably, but the book is always more detailed because you have to describe every little thing so that the reader can visualize that in their mind. Whereas you don't have to do that with a movie, you know. Right. So really,
I mean, once you own that book, once you have the rights to that book, it's always going to be yours. I mean, because I can literally release the book to a production company, and they can mutilate and tear up this thing, and I've lost it all because they own it now. I can do that, but you know, this is my baby. I don't want anything to go awry with this. But yeah, man, I think that I want to be able to make the best possible decision and not regret it later. And even if I do regret it a little bit, at least I did my research and own it, you know, in the end. So I think that's important. But yeah, I think that's the next step, honestly, Patricia, my next step is to really look into the possibility of a film.
You know what? I did mine, and I actually released it. I did a big premiere for it in Atlanta, and then I released it on YouTube. You know, there's no fee to it or whatever, but it has 50,000 views, so it's possible. You know, it took us a long time because we didn't have the money and we didn't really have the funding type stuff. So it took us a longer than it probably would take people who have the money to be like, hey, you do this, I'm going to pay you. You do that, I'm going to pay you. No, we didn't have that. So everything was kind of like that underground stuff.
And I think that I know some people that know some people that know some people that are possibly interested in something like this. But once I make that decision, then it's all hands on deck, right? You got to go 100 miles an hour and give it your all and hope for the best and wait for the red carpet, right?
Oh yeah, because if you know some people that know some people that know some people that got the money to know some people, then you got it going on.
It's not, as they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Right. Yeah. For you, for me, for us. I love the title. I can't wait to read the book. So how can they get in touch with you? What's your social media?
I can be reached at my personal Facebook page, which is Joe Aguilar, JoeAguilar. I also have a Facebook, a For You, For Me, For Us Facebook page as well. You can also reach me there. You know, and then if anybody wants to call directly, I can be reached at 210-639-0463 directly. And then you can also go on my website to westsidesoul.com, and my newspaper is there as well, and you can also reach me through there. It's WESTSIDESOL.com, and that's my business page.
Say it again.
But the easiest way is WEST, West Side, SIDE.com, westsidesoul.com.
Okay.
You can find my newspaper there and my contact information there as well. And you can also reach me through Messenger or go to my For You, For Me, For Us Facebook page as well. It's there as well. But I'd be happy to sign some books and mail some books, and I'm looking forward to bigger, better things. You know how that goes.
Yes, definitely. Well, I'm so glad that you, you took a step of faith and stepped out and decided to share your book with us.
Right.
You know, I can't wait to get my copy so I can read it. And definitely, I wish you much success with the sports show and with your continued success with your newspaper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my story. And once again, if anybody wants to read it, they can find it on Amazon. For You, For Me, For Us on Amazon. And if you like it, you can put a little comment there as well. Hopefully you'll get 5 stars as well. So thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate you.
Definitely.
Same here.
Joe Aguilar.
All right, guys, go out there and go get that book right there. For You, For Me, For Us. Available on Amazon right now, and it's on Kindle, so you can get it on a digital, also the paperback hard copy as well. So go to the website as well, westsidesoul, it's SOL.com. I'm going to get some of that right there. Thanks for calling us up, Joe.
Thanks for calling. So we're going to play the #1 song on N1M.com for R&B right now for me. Ha, ha, ha. Out of Georgia. Thanks. Ha, ha. We'll be back.
He knows.
working about a 20-hour week, picking up shoes. Hated it, but you know I pay my dues. Hated it, but you know I pay my dues, yeah. Gotta steward it well, from serving locally to serving globally, yeah. From a broke hoodlum to me break dancing in Jerusalem, yeah.
But now I'm found, yeah. You pick me up, yeah. When I'm so down, yeah. You switch it up and shoot the brown, yeah. You show me mercy, yeah. You said I'm working. Now all I can do is thank you, 'cause you got that good love, yeah. Got me and my mama out the hood up. No asking for the kiss me up in my neighborhood, love. 'Cause you got that good love, yeah, you got that good love.
Yeah. Home is broke with not a cent. Pocket full of dreams and lit. Watching all who profit, all who cider white, they got it, yeah. I remember winter days we had no heat. Sleeping in my jacket at my mama crib on Lafayette Street. Hold up. Now I got signed and leveled up on them. No, I'm not boasting, I just wanna flaunt them. Bought me a crib with a lake and a gate. Nah, I'm just kidding, but the future look great. Came a long way from that studio. The struggle's still real, but I'm Gucci though. To a 2-bedroom, me and Mark coolin', taking life in one night at a time. Yeah.
But now I'm found, yeah. You pick me up, yeah. When I'm so down, yeah. You switch it up and shoot the brown, yeah. You show me mercy, yeah. You said I'm working. Now all I can do is thank you, 'cause you got that good love, yeah. Got me and my mama out the hood up. No asking for the kiss me up in my neighborhood up. 'Cause you got that good love, yeah, you got that good love.
But now I'm found. You pick me up when I feel down. You switch it up and shook the ground. Yeah, you show me mercy. Yeah, you got that good love. All I can do is thank you, 'cause you got that good love. Yeah, got me and my mama out the hood up. No asking for the kiss in my neighborhood up. 'Cause you got that good love. Yeah, you got that good love.
Come, Camila, we go to LA. We go make a record
Dance, a.k.a. Queen Got the King Advocate, and you are listening live to On the Move, Unscripted, On Purpose, the ladies' round table discussion, where we talk about everything. Make sure you tune in every Thursday night at 8 o'clock from 8 to 10, so we talk about whatever you want to talk about. So make sure you tune in 8 o'clock every Thursday, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. with your girls live on the move, unscripted, on purpose. And remember, whatever you do it on purpose, with purpose.
You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted, and we're having an unscripted show. Our artist, Freestyle King, he's still coming on. He has some issues that he had to take care of, but he will be on. But that's just the way life is. You know what I'm saying?
It happens.
Yeah, you can't be so structured and so rigid that you can't deal with unexpected things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that was one of the reasons why I wanted to name the show Unscripted, because I know I'm unscripted most of the time.
Yeah.
And so you just got to roll with the punches. Things don't always happen the way you want them to happen. So for all the listeners or people who were calling in asking for him, he is still going to come on.
Right.
He'll be on at least to say hi to y'all.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he actually is going to be performing tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, the 26th. He's going to be performing on the 26th.
Is that a Saturday? Yeah.
Huh?
That's a Saturday, right? Probably a Saturday.
What day is that?
I think it's a Saturday.
Yeah, he's going to be coming. So he's going to be one of the contestants for the Wants to Make It competition.
Oh, Too Hot Radio. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I heard that.
Too Hot Radio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be, I think he's performing June 26th at 4:30, but and so that's what he really wanted to talk about, because he really just wanted people to know that he about to act a fool up there. He about to freestyle on them. So if nothing,
he's going to take over Atlanta.
He's going to take over Atlanta. So at the very least, when he does come on, hopefully we can get him to freestyle real quick.
Yeah, that's in his name. So I'm pretty sure they always ask people him to do that, and then to be called the Freestyle King. That's a lot to live up to.
That's a lot to live up to. So let's play one of his songs.
Okay.
We've been promoting him coming on for a minute now, because he was just excited. His management was excited and everything. So we're going to play his music, and hopefully he'll be on by 9:45 or so. So when he pops on, we'll come back. But let's go ahead and play a little bit of Freestyle King, because we got two songs for him. So we'll be right back, y'all. On the Move Unscripted.
All right.
Yeah. Left wrist rollie, bust down AP, Louis V on me, teeth on jet skis, chains on VVs, now I got ops all on me, McLaren swerving is burning, they get the plaque and we earn it. Left wrist rollie, bust down AP, Louis V on me, teeth on jet skis, chains on VVs, now I got ops all on me, McLaren swerving is burning, they get the plaque and we earn it. Pocket full of blue cheese, all this cash on me, all this ass on me, moving fast on me, tired of niggas on me, I'm sending shots on me, I'm on your block on me, I keep the cocks on me, AR-15 with the carpet beam, about to kill his dream, snatching up the queen, upgrade, cause you really fucking with a king, with the scope I see niggas, they waiting on me, extended with ready, don't play with me, G, I'm tired of you niggas that taking from me, I swear to God though, they just faking my G, this is a situation when I touch down, I've been around to a lot of towns, anybody really wanna see how this gun sound, I'ma make a round, this is the truth, I know your body is not bulletproof, smoke your ass now while I'm smoking some fruit, nigga get back cause you don't got the juice, left wrist rolling, bust down AP, Louis V on me, teeth on jet skis, chains on VVs, now I got ops all on me, McLaren swerving is burning, they get the plaque and we earn it, left wrist rolling, bust down AP, Louis V on me, teeth on jet skis, chains on VVs, now I got ops all on me, McLaren swerving is burning, they get the plaque and we earn it, hopping fences I was half a
different blocks. Looking at all these niggas, I was popping ops. I was cutting blocks, I was dodging cops. Tired of all of these niggas, they better stop. They looking at me trying to catch a wave. When I'm waking up daily, I'm getting blazed. When I come out the jungle, I'm with the gang. Anybody want war, bitch, I'm gonna bang. Look at these haters, I swear they ain't not ready for this type of war. That's what I did before. You're not ready just to hit the score. I'ma tell you, boy, you might get ignored. You better watch out for your bitch, gon' get sword. I'm tired of these haters, they wanted some more. But thinking that bitch and I'm going absorbed. See me right now, cause I'm really a rank. Half of these niggas don't know what they think. Let they go ahead and get the blue face from the bank. When I look at your bitch, guarantee she gon' faint. Look at the shit that I did that you can't. Come on for real, I'm the best in the paint. Play with me if you want, nigga, you ain't. You play with my spot, then your ass get erased. Left wrist rolling, bust down AP, Louis V on me, teeth on jet skis, chains on VV, now I got ops all on me. McLaren twerping is burning, they get the plaque and we earn. Left wrist rolling, bust down AP, Louis V on me, teeth on jet skis, chains on VV, now I got ops all on me. McLaren twerping is burning, they get the plaque and we earn.
Look, mama, I'm a king. They grabbed me up and threw me in the ring. No training, they just told me bob and weave. Look, mama, I'm a king. They threw me in the belly of the beast and said I'd never make it out of the streets. But look, mama, I'm a king. Through all the trials and tribulations, came out clean, smiling like they never seen me bleed. Look, mama, I'm a king. Look, mama, I'm a king. Yeah. Higher, higher, higher. Trust me, I am not afraid. So I ain't holding back for no one, no one. Higher, higher, higher. Ain't no need to look away, cause I ain't going back for no one, no one. True to my testament, reflection on my past and more. But for a future I couldn't see, my start was past the floor. Stuck in the dark and counted out, yeah, it was sad for sure. Voice said, go and get it, young nigga, what you asking for? I heard a dream was for the niggas that sleep, so stay woke. Most niggas miss the word for most sleeping, they stay broke. They get enough and fight as hard as you can and it will come. Until it do, give all you got, but when it do, you can't tell. It was a dream that kept me in a dream. Put down the faith and went to work. One thing led to another, cost was high and all the loss was worse. When the venom from this nature took the toll, so I could see the hurt. They needed me to fail, but I prevailed and held my demons hurt. Blood spilled, tears dry. Fear came, I watched to leave. I never thought that in a million years they'd be watching me. By now I probably shed a million tears, couldn't stop the leak. They dragged me through the mud, look what they done, they no stopping me. Higher, higher, higher. Trust me, I am not afraid. So I ain't holding back for no one, no one. Higher, higher, higher. Ain't no need to look away, cause I ain't going back for no one, no one. Higher, higher, higher. Trust me, I am not afraid. So I ain't holding back for no one, no one. Higher, higher, higher. Ain't no need to look away, cause I ain't going back for no one, no one.
Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, 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 hey. I just jumped off the jet and I got the jet lag. Op steady plotting, I guess they that mad. Certified on my block, I got that jet pass. No capping in my glory, I got them that mad. Yeah, I'm smoking on that gas, yeah, that good gas. The cash is coming fast, cause I'm flipping them packs. Blowing sides, I'm Maui Wowie, yeah, I got that good gas. Yeah, I'm flipping them packs, my racks, I'm getting them back. I've been flipping them packs and I've been coming with bands. Some people don't understand, I'm really high high in demand, and I supply what you got. You know I came with them Glocks, I always spinning them blocks. You better move, I'ma watch. I heard them fans, they was talking. I heard them people, they watching. Matter of fact, I got drama, I'm about to head to Milwaukee. Boy, I see me some Bamas, I made a cut to Atlanta. Drop top Rory, no phantom, I swear I'm about to get at them. Pull up, cut blocks in them switches. Look at these niggas, some bitches. Put them little pussies in ditches. I swear I know they was snitching. You come here, you need permission. We clean your ass like some dishes. I'm tired of you niggas dissing. I'm about to put out the mission. Jump off the jet, and I got the jet lag. Op steady plotting, I guess they that mad. Certified on my block, I got that jet pass. No capping in my glory, I got them that mad. Yeah, I'm smoking on that gas, yeah, that good gas. The cash is coming fast, cause I'm flipping them packs. Blowing sides, I'm wowie, yeah, I got that good gas. Yeah, I'm flipping them packs, my racks, I'm getting them back. I bundle up with the zip, and then I go take a trip. The trip, she think that she ready, she bout to up the lip. This bitch, she thinking she slick, trying to get rich with her lips. Shaking ass in the club, but bitch ain't getting no tips. Pull up in foreigns, they foreign, shorty, she see how I'm going. I'm taking off like I'm Jordan, my life is looking important. She give me head till I'm stoned, we pillow talk till the morning. Head till I'm stoned, we pillow talk till the morning. But I'm gon' watch it, no capping nigga, she thinking it's up. She got me swerving all through traffic, nigga, holding the clutch. She got me swerving all through traffic, nigga, holding the clutch. Drop her ass off at the telly, cause I gotta get up. And then I jump off the jet, and I got the jet lag. Op steady plotting, I guess they that mad. Certified on my block, I got that jet pass. No capping in my glory, I got them that mad. Yeah, I'm smoking on that gas, yeah, that good gas. The cash is coming fast, cause I'm flipping them packs. Blowing sides, I'm wowie, yeah, I got that good gas. Yeah, I'm flipping them packs, my racks, I'm getting them back. Hey.
This man freshly is different.
Ill will make a deep down.
Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in the streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in these streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in these streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets. Straightforward if you think they love you. Everything's above you. Move in silence. Protect your own. Watch the throne. These niggas want it. They hungry. Only safe by your uncle. In the street. Can't trust the homies. Price fight you the man down. They used to be friends now. Watch who you call bro now. Since money speaks so loud. The type of shit that move whole crowds. Hard to say who's the hoe now. Cause lyric calls they on step now. Won't give you shit when you touch down. Same niggas you held down. Bet your heart full of pain now. Moving through these streets, can't let guards down. Look, same niggas you held down. Bet your heart full of pain now. Moving through these streets, can't let guards down. Hard to say who's the hoe now. Cause lyric calls they on step now. Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in these streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in these streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets.
Waking up, praying before my day gets started. Every day on the news, hearing bodies getting caught in the ambulance. Seem like the world out for vengeance. Not caring about a life sentence. No jail, understand. No price set to be let out on bail. We as people have failed. I'd rather stay in my own lane. Live for my son and daughter, instead of watching over my shoulder. In these trenches, ain't no love when you getting it. A bunch of leeches trying to hold you back. Same will stab you in the back. Can't get behind, always prepared to steps ahead of anybody, whether it's family or friend. Don't trust a soul, except yourself. You ain't gon' rap on yourself. Respect you earn, the crown you own. Just tell it how it is and how you feel on every song. Ain't no love in these streets. Let that be a lesson learned while you chillin' by your lonely. Counting blessings that you earn.
Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in these streets. Stay away from these streets.
Hello, what's going on? You are back to another episode of On the Move Unscripted. Yes, we're having an unscripted night. Y'all will be all right. I told y'all way long time ago, don't come here looking for perfection because you're not going to find it. So we actually got callers on the line. So let's see who those callers are. We're going to start with the first one. Caller, you have 278 in your number?
Yes.
Hi, caller. You calling On the Move Unscripted. Can you tell us what your name is and where you're calling from?
How y'all doing? This Freestyle.
Just got off the Freestyle. I knew you wasn't going to let them get you, boo. I knew you was going to figure it out.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry for the delay, but how y'all doing?
Oh, I am so fine. We're so fine. So glad you called on. Yeah. And we actually got another caller that's probably waiting to talk to you because they've been calling here like a hotline looking for you. So let's go ahead and go to this next caller. It's okay. They understand. They came back. They got love for you.
I know that's right.
You call in the On the Move Unscripted. You got 766 in your number?
Yes.
Hi.
Do. How you doing?
Oh, fine. You called in On the Move Unscripted. Did you call to say something to Freestyle King?
Yes, this K-Lady from VA. That's bro right there.
I
do have a question. You know I show up, go out, you know it. I do have a question. So when it comes to your music, what crowd are you looking for to attract?
Honestly, I thought about that for the longest when I started doing my music. And sometimes when I do change up my cadence and my style, because, you know, not everybody's going to like trap and all that. Not a lot of people going to like breakup songs and all that. But I want to touch around everybody. And the reason why I say that is because I did a song for my kids at the daycare that they attend. I had to perform it live. And I see when you touch them kids, that means you got to touch everybody. So I'm really trying to touch everybody. I just know one side.
Can I ask another question, or we only get one question per call?
Oh, no. Go ahead. That's another question.
I do got one more. All right, so while your journey was going on, is there one thing that you would change in the whole process?
To be honest, I would not change a thing because it would have never got me in the position where I'm at right now, good or bad.
You better say that.
Right, that's that.
Now, the thing, that's like going back in history and you stepping on the old ancient bug, and then you come back and everybody else flying.
Right.
I don't want to see nothing.
Right.
So we got another caller that popped in. They all trying to catch you now because they know we're coming towards the end. They want to say something. So I just want to say to you, caller, thank you very much for calling in, and we're going to take the next caller.
All right, anytime.
Thank you.
So before we bring on the next caller, I just want to say he's from St. Louis, right? St. Louis represents. I know that about y'all people. Huh?
No doubt.
They show up and show out. So you're from St. Louis, but you're going to be performing in Atlanta on the 26th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
At that at the Want to Make It competition sponsored by Too Hot Radio.
Too Hot Radio, yeah.
Too Hot Radio, Black Love, and also Who Wants to Make It.
That's what's up. And I actually posted the video in the Atlanta Music Industry Group and on this thing. I've been letting people know, so hopefully you got a lot of people out there supporting you. Before we roll up out of here, though, you know I'm going to get a freestyle, but let's go ahead and open up this phone line. Hello, caller. You calling On the Move Unscripted. We're interviewing artist Freestyle King. You have 512 in your number. What's your name and where you calling from?
Tweety calling from Memphis, Tennessee.
All right.
Tennessee in the house.
Memphis, I love it out there.
Tweet.
So I have two questions for Freestyle.
Okay.
The first question is, what is your motivation behind your music?
My main motivation behind my music are my kids. That's my main motivation because I would love to just do what I do for fun and to have them all together, you know, because they all separated. It's a long story with it, but my kids are my passion. They are my passion of life.
Yeah. It's a grown man?
Yeah. That's what's up. Because if it wasn't for your kids, you'd probably punch that boss in the eye.
Okay, Okay, and the
You
second
sure right
question,
about that.
what are some artists you would love to work with?
Oh my goodness, that is a beautiful question. I know for sure I would love to work with like Kanye. I love to work with Offset. I love to do a track with Megan Thee Stallion. Even
yada yada.
one person I admire, one I do admire that I would love to go bar for bar for would be Eminem and Wayne.
Oh, nice, yeah.
That's what's up. You know, your management told us that you had a pretty big following. Like when you do your freestyles, wherever you've been doing them at, many people have been like checking you out.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. So like unbelievable, you know, to have people that you don't even know, you know, support you and have so much faith in you. And I did it as a hobby, you know, but it kind of turned into, hey, you need to put this out. You need to put this out. So I just started really visualizing it. I'm with it. I'm ready.
That's what's up. Well, thank you, caller, for calling in.
We see a lot of potential in you. You're only going up from here. Stay positive. Don't let nobody get you down and rise to the top, because we know you're going to be the best that you can be.
Thank you, Tweety. I appreciate
Awesome.
Thank you, caller.
All right, thank you. Y'all enjoy y'all night.
You too. So, Freestyle King, you know you got to give us a free. You ain't no way in the heck, after waiting all this time, are you not about to give us a freestyle, boo-boo? So I don't know. Pick something. So if I say any word, you can freestyle to it?
Yeah, I'm with it. Like, our wordplay so good.
Oh, snap. Okay, so what? I need to give you a subject matter, or?
If you want to give me a few words or something to kind of talk about, I can try to acapella it real quick because I ain't got no instrumentals on me. I just left out the job, but I can put something together. I ain't gonna be afraid.
Freestyle your name. Freestyle King. Let's do something from that.
Okay, let's get it. It's a lot of legendaries in these streets. It's a lot of people on these scenes. Until they ran to one of the kings, a.k.a. Freestyle King. I came with a team. Nobody didn't know that I was a bad kid with an AR-15. A lot of things in my life, it was always red, but I was looking for the green. So I sat in between. I thought about the lies. I thought about the takes. I thought about the fakes. I even had to clean my yard out because I seen a lot of snakes, a lot of friends that want to grab my hands, and no, I couldn't even let them shake. So I had to debate. Mom died. No, she didn't. I'm tripping. I'm really kidding because my mind is really tripping. I'm in a whole different dimension. But really, it's my dad, my father. When he got shot with the bullet, I ain't know what to do, but how could I even pull it? Now I'm going through so much pain. My mind is drained. My brain is just going in circles. I'm going insane. I got so much thrill. It's like Michael Jackson. I got the jacket, but it's all good because I know they coming right back at it. I ain't know that they was going to come and get the king off of the statue. I had to wear that crown because that's what I do. And let me get at you. I'm from the Louis, St. Louis, the show me state. Going down to Atlanta. Pull up in the Range Rover. This time I ain't want to come in the Phantom. Now I'm going to get at him. Take over.
And you know what? That's deep because I read your bio, and it said that you actually witnessed your father pass away. Like you actually.
I tell you, I done swallowed that down, and I done manned up to it. But me and my little brother, we were walking. My dad was going to pick up something. He always took us with us. It was the night before Halloween, and when he opened the door, the guy was so afraid of my father that he thought my father was about to do something to him, and he shot him. And when he shot him, the bullet went over my little brother's head and pierced my daddy in his heart, and he died a little bit after midnight on Halloween. That's why I don't celebrate Halloween.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I am so sorry to hear that, but I love how you have turned that tragedy, and look at you doing your thing, you know what I'm saying, and doing it for the love of your kids. You got another caller, so let's pull this caller in.
All right.
Is it me?
Hello, caller. You got 309 in your number. We're fighting against the clock, but please tell us your name, where you're calling from, and would you like to say something to Freestyle King?
Yeah, my name is Diablo. I'm calling from Massachusetts. What's going on, Freestyle King?
Hey, what's up, Diablo?
What's good, bro? I want to know, like, what inspired you to actually become a rapper and actually, want to do your thing?
I'll be honest with you. What inspired me was y'all and my manager. Because without y'all in the beginning, it wasn't going to be no Freestyle King, to be honest with you. And for my manager finding that potential in me and really pushing me to where she done pushed me at, that's what I'm greatly appreciated for. So it's all of y'all, yo. Y'all, regardless if y'all don't feel it, it's all of y'all. All of y'all. All 144,000 followers out here. All of y'all, yo.
144,000 followers. That is freaking amazing. And it was a hobby. He wasn't even trying to do it for real, for real. Wow.
I'm a working. I wasn't even trying because I'm a support. I'm a family man. That's just what I've been like, you know, even helping out my older ones in the family from uncles to moms, you know, from situations. You know, St. Louis is a rough city, but it wasn't my intention. But until I started seeing people believe in me more and more, I'm like, okay, I know I got to take a little bit of a risk and put this to a side. But I know if I do that, I can come back and really take care of my family.
Yeah. We're going to have another interview because I just love your spirit. You know what I'm saying?
I had a lot of things.
Yeah, stuff I want to talk about, but I know that I don't want the clock to, you know, because the Blog Talk don't like us like that. So tell us, how can they reach you? Like, how can they follow you?
Please, everybody, if y'all can, excuse me, who's ever tuning in, my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube channel, all the same thing, so it'll be easier. It's FSK_Pyro314. That's F as in Frank, S as in Sam, K as in King, _ P as in Peter, Y as in Yellow, R for Robert, O for Oscar, numbers 314 is where you can find me, anywhere.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're definitely going to have to figure out another way to be able to see. Are you going to be, is anybody going to be streaming? Tell people that, are they going to be having a videographer, like, capture your performance? Like, are we going to be able to see it for those of us who are not in Atlanta?
Indeed, yes, yes.
Where will we be able to see it at?
What I'm going to do, because I know my manager is putting something together, she has, like, the whole camera crew doing their thing because I am shooting videos, too. But we are going to put this performance up as well. I'm going to make sure for sure that it does go on my YouTube. I put a little snippet on my Instagram, you know, how you can do so. But I'm definitely going to have it on my YouTube. And I'm definitely going to let you be the top people that know when this is going down.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah,
That you feel special.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
And that's my word. When I say top two, both of y'all that I'm talking to come in the half. You need a half and a half to make a whole. So y'all two will be knowing.
All right, that's what's up.
And you see how you did that? Yeah. That's that freestyle ability. You just put them two in the half to half the whole because like that, you know what I'm saying? That's
June 26th, right? June 26th. Is it a specific place where he's going to be at?
Yeah. What's the address or do you know? Yeah, the location.
Goodness, I know it's directly in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a venue I know where they shoot all the major artist videos there. J. Cole, Gucci Mane, a lot of them. If it's okay, I can give it to you. I can definitely give it to you. But I know it's in my email.
Well, I have the flyer. Is it on the flyer?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely on the flyer.
Okay. Well, then they can just go to the Blog Talk window and they see it. And then also I've been posting it in the Atlanta Music Industry Group. Are you a member of the Atlanta Music Industry Group on Facebook?
I don't know if I got into it, but I need to. I've seen it because I know my manager's in there. I need to get in there.
Yeah, so I can tag you when I share your stuff or whatever. You know, when I share you. So we want to.
Right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I promise to have that done for you tonight.
Isn't that special? Isn't he sweet? I wish we'd have had more time. I would have.
He on top of his thing.
But you know what I love? I love that even though an obstacle came, he didn't let that stop him. He could have been like, you know what? I ain't gonna get that much time, forget it. But he didn't. That's a soldier. You a soldier up in this mud. You hear me?
You should have seen. They like, where you going? I was like, I gotta go, and I was just running out the building. I'm like, I gotta go.
I got stuff to do. People see play with the gun. I got time to play with you. You took enough of my time. I know that's right.
Are y'all available on Mondays at all?
Yeah, we can do a special something on Monday.
I'm open all day Monday.
You want to try to do a little special pop-up? I'm trying to do a little pop-up. Maybe we could do one on Facebook or Instagram or something. That'd be better.
Ooh, yes. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do a pop-up on Facebook, because Facebook is better for it.
Right, yeah.
Let's do a pop-up on, what's your availability? It got to be after 4.
I can do 5 to 6, 5 to 7, 5 to 8, 5 to 9, 12.
Let's do let's do 5 to 6 on Monday, and let's do it through Facebook. So tell your manager to send me a friend request or invite me or something, so I can have you, so that we can do it, and then we can see each other face to face, and then you can tell your boss to kiss your ass. No, I'm sorry. No, don't do that. Don't tell your boss to kiss your ass.
Not yet.
Oh my goodness.
Wait till you up there making millions of dollars. Then you can look back on them like, you remember me? Yeah, kiss my ass. I'm just playing. We're gonna roll out of here on with and replay your song Jet Lag.
That's a dope song.
Mhm. But so make sure.
Hey, turn up.
Yeah, we're gonna replay that, but then we're gonna do that Facebook Live interview, and so we can talk, and then people can actually tune in and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
A little bit longer. We got more things we want to add.
We got stuff to talk about. Freestyle. We got stuff to talk about.
I'm ready. I am ready. You don't understand. I am ready, and I'm gonna show the world that it's a real freestyle. And we not gonna talk off to say, hey, we planning this. No, when y'all come Monday, I'm there Monday. Have y'all some little words put up on the little screen for me, and I'm gonna show the world what I can do.
Can't wait.
Yeah, we're gonna.
All right, we're gonna rock it. We're gonna rock it. See how. Let me tell you, all things work together for the good. You hear what I'm saying? Even when the enemy try to come and do something crazy, God already got another gift for you in the basket. So we're gonna continue this on Monday, 5 to 6 on Facebook Live. But we're gonna roll on out of here before Block Talk cut me off. We're gonna roll out of here with Freestyle King's Jet Lag, and y'all tune in to Patricia M. Goins' Facebook page on Monday, and also, what's your Facebook page thing again?
The Facebook. You talking about mine's like my? Because mine's
give me your social.
FSK.
FSK.
_ Pyro PYRO. 314.
314. All right. So if you don't send me a friend request first, I'll send you one. But we're going to roll on out of here. Thank you for speeding in like Speedy Gonzalez and giving us that freestyle. Thank you for all the callers who were patient, who continued to call back because they wanted to talk to you. That's the bomb dignity that lets you know them 100 and how many thousand you say?
44,000.
You better stop playing. We talk to you on Monday. Peace
all
and
right,
love to you.
Talk to y'all on Monday, and yes, please be protected by the shield.
Amen.
Right.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. 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 I just jumped off the jet and I got the jet lag. I'm steady plotting. I guess they that mad. Certified on my block. I got that jet pass. No capping in my glory. I got them that mad. Yeah, I'm smoking on the gas. Yeah, that good gas. The cash is coming fast. Cause I'm flipping them packs. Blowing sides, I'm Maui Wowie. Yeah, I got that good gas. Yeah, I'm flipping them packs. My racks, I'm getting them back. I've been flipping them packs and I've been coming with bands. Some people don't understand. I'm really hot in demand. And I supply what you got. You know I came with them Glocks. I always spinning them blocks. You better move, I'ma watch. I heard them fans, they was talking. I heard them people, they watching. Matter of fact, I got drama. I'm about to head to Milwaukee. Boy, I see me some Bamas. I made a cut to Atlanta. Drop top Rory, no phantom. I swear I'm about to get at them. Pull up, come blocks in them switches. Look at these niggas, some bitches. Put them little pussies in ditches. I swear I know they was snitching. You come here, you need permission. We clean your ass like some dishes. I'm tired of you niggas dissing. I'm about to put out the mission. Jump off the jet and I got the jet lag. I'm steady plotting. I guess they that mad. Certified on my block. I got that jet pass. No capping in my glory. I got them that mad. Yeah, I'm smoking on that gas. Yeah, that good gas. The cash is coming fast. Cause I'm flipping them packs. Blowing sides, I'm Maui Wowie. Yeah, I got that good gas. Yeah, I'm flipping them packs. My racks, I'm getting them back. I bundle up with the zip, and then I go take a trip. The trip, she think that she ready, she bout to up the lip. This bitch, she thinking she slick, trying to get rich with her lips. Shaking ass in the club, but bitch ain't getting no tips. Pull up in foreigns, they boring, shorty, she see how I'm going. I'm taking off like I'm Jordan, my life is looking important. She give me head till I'm throwing, we pillow talk till the morning. Head till I'm throwing, we pillow talk till the morning. But I'm gon' watchin' no capping nigga, she thinking it's up. She got me swerving all through traffic, nigga, holding the clutch. She got me swerving all through traffic, nigga, holding the clutch. Drop her ass off at the telly, cause I gotta get up. And then I jumped off the jet, and I got the jet lag. Up steady plotting, I guess they that mad.